Hello children, I want to tell you a story that comes from the Bible, and it's a story that concerns the first miracle that Jesus did. Over the coming weeks we'll look at the miracles in the Gospel according to John, and this is one that happens at a wedding in the town of Cana. And here we are in the house where the wedding is happening, and as usual at a wedding there's lots of delicious food that's on offer for the guests to eat. That's one nice thing about weddings, having lovely food. So there we are. Ooh. And some pots of water there people use to wash. And the guests have come to the wedding. There's also some drink. Here's the groom, the man and the woman who are getting married, and their family and friends have come to the wedding. They're having some drink as well. And everyone's having such a wonderful time. Also, Jesus' mother, Mary, has been invited to the wedding. And also Jesus and his followers, the followers of Jesus, they are there too. So some of his disciples who have begun to follow Jesus, they've come to the wedding. There was a wedding in the town of Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there. Jesus and his followers were also invited to the wedding. But a disaster happened at the wedding while the people were there. Let's give these people their drinks. The wine ran out. They ran out of drink for the people at the wedding, and that would be so embarrassing. Well, Mary came to speak to Jesus about what had happened. His mother, when all the wine had gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." Jesus replied, "Dear woman, why come to me? My time has not yet come." Jesus was saying to Mary, you can't decide when I'm going to do things. Although you're my mother, I'm actually answerable to my Father, my God in heaven. He's the one who I must obey and do his will at his time and his work. Well, Mary realised that she wasn't in charge, but she said to the servants who were there, there were people who were serving. She said to the servants, here they are. She said to them, whatever he tells you to do, do it. Well, in the place there were 6 stone water jars. Remember those 6 large stone water jars? And each held about 100 litres. So they're big jars for water that the Jews would use for their special washing. Jesus said to the servants, fill the jars with water. So the servants went off, they took the jars and then brought them back, filled to the top with water. And Jesus said to those servants, when they'd filled them to the brim, Jesus said to the servants, now take some out and give it to the master of the feast. So at the wedding, there was someone who was in charge of making sure everything ran properly and everyone was being looked after. And so the servants went and collected some water from the jars and brought it to the master of the feast. The servants took the water to the master. When he tasted it, the water had become wine. He did not know where the wine came from, but the servants who brought the water knew. The master of the wedding called the bridegroom and said to him, people always serve the best wine first. Later, after the guests have been drinking a lot, they serve the cheaper wine. But you have saved the best wine till now. And so Jesus turned water into the best wine. And produced plenty of it so that the guests would have a wonderful time at the wedding, celebrating the marriage of the man and the woman who were being married at the wedding. The Bible tells us, so in Cana of Galilee, Jesus did his first miracle. There he showed his glory, and his followers believed in him. Glory means that Jesus showed how wonderful he was, that he had power to turn water into the best wine there at the wedding. Jesus' amazing control over nature, that he could perform that miracle. And we're told his followers, those disciples who had come with him to the wedding, his followers believed in him. They realized that Jesus was someone really special, and they could trust him to take care of them, to give them life, to provide for them. They could trust in Jesus. So this first miracle, Jesus showed his glory, how brilliant and wonderful and marvelous he was. His disciples believed in him. The first miracle that Jesus did at a wedding, turning water, lots of it, into the best wine, showing his power, his goodness in providing for these people so they weren't embarrassed at the wedding, and his glory. And when his disciples saw what he had done, they believed in him.